list of all the various positions of ways that I can position something on a page. Take some time to go through these different positions and familiarize yourself. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and set this fixed.
And fixed is going to be relative to the browser window.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Not to other elements, but to the browser.
The browser window.
Okay.
Right. All right. So now we're all set to go. Let's just run this again. And we can see now that our footer is properly placed at the
down
bottom.
there at the bottom, it's a footer. And if you resize the browser, what would happen? So if you took it out of maximum screen mode, and you'll notice it stays right there. It is, in fact, fixed to that browser window.
Exactly.
I love it. Okay.
Nice.
Perfect.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about transparency. We want to add a picture to the back of our
that little watermark that you were mentioning.
Yeah, little watermark. So let's actually do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'll just add another section here. I'm just going to use the div section. How about that?
Okay.
It still is alive and well.
Div, div, div.
And I'm going to add an image to my div. Oh, forgot my little. There we go. And the image is.
Did you want to be in the HTML?
No, yes, I did. I'm just typing right away.
Hey,
I'm not ready to style it. I'm going to come back to this. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll leave that here, and I'll come back to that.
Okay.
Let me go back and add that here. All right.
Okay. There we go.
No wonder my IntelliSense wasn't working correctly.
It's one of those things, you know, hey, look, there's a file in front of me. Just start typing. Yep. The number of, you want an IMG.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
Okay, IMG. There we go. Now we're ready to
Now we're cooking
type in. I've got a little squiggly line because it's telling me I have some attributes that I have to put in. So it needs a source.
By the way, squiggles or squiggly line, those are, in fact, the technical terms. And no, I'm not actually making a joke. It is.
Really?
Yeah, red squiggles.
Official tag.
Yep. True story. So you're adding in the image file to your little web matrix site here.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've got a little image here, travel map. We're going to add that in.
Okay.
I'll type that in.
Travel map.jpg. Yep. I'm with you.
Still got the squiggly because I need one more attribute, and that's the alt.
And what's that alt going to do for us?
Well, that's going to, again, we're talking about making your application more accessible. That's going to make it accessible. So for screen readers to pick up, or when your visual can't be shown, it'll pick up this alternate text.
Okay, I dig it. Search engines like that as well, because you're now describing what that image is. And it's a background image.
Squiggly goes away.
Yay!
All right, if I run this, I wonder how it's going to look.
Only one way to find out. All right. Okay, well.
Yeah, you know, okay, it's a start, right? But I probably want to reposition it a little bit. And it's not in a watermarked format, right? So I want to work on that.
Yeah, so we kind of want it in the background and, you know, a little transparent. That's really not in the background nor transparent.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now, do I get to go to Style Sheet?
Now you can go to Style Sheet. There we go.
Now I'm going to go to Style Sheet, and I'm going to begin styling that. I'm going to go ahead and set the position. And let's just say it's fixed. We're going to fix that to the window there. And I'm going to specify that I want it all the way up to the top. I'm going to say, let's just test this out.
So just a little bit of space between the top of the browser and where the image is. Okay.
I'm going to run that and just see what happens. Oh, okay,
all right.
So I got a little issue, right?
So, well, you succeeded. You got the image to the top.
Right.
Well done there.
But I've got several things on my page, and I need to specify the order that I want that to show. I want this actually to be moved to the background, and I want my video and my text to be forward.
Right.
I'm going to need to do a little bit of styling to do that. I'm going to use the z-index.
Okay. So z-index or z-index is how you're going to indicate how you want everything to be ordered, to be displayed. So
I'm
that
-1... Send it to the back.
Okay. All right. -1, just push it right to the back.
And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to make it a little bit transparency. Remember, we were going from more of a watermarked image.
Right.
So I'm going to set the opacity property.
Fancy
and
word
let's
there.
just set it to, say, 0.5, 50%.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's a percentage. Okay.
Yeah, probably I would say let's go with 0.3.
0.3? Okay.
We just kind of want it in the
Oh,
see?
that's looking I
better,
dig
right?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take it a step further.
All right.
One of the things that we want to do, you notice that the border color is solid, and I don't see any of that background image. And we'd like to do that. We'd like that background image to bleed through a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to set the transparency for that as well.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do that up here in the header section. Now, I could actually go up here and do the same thing. I could work with the opacity attribute, but I want to demonstrate that there's another way to do that. Notice that I set background color here, and I set it with the hexadecimal. We also said that we could have actually just said gold. There's still a third way to do that.
Oh, okay.
And that's using the RGB. All right.
Yep.
Red, green, blue. And those are going to be 3 values somewhere in between 255.
For red, for green, for blue.
Yeah,
okay.
0 and 255. So, okay, we're going to take a guess. Gold is going to be, say, about 255, 190, and there is no blue in gold, but we need one more value.
Okay.
We're going to use RGBA, and A stands for alpha channel.
Ah, all right.
And we're going to set the alpha there.
Okay.
Let's set it to 0.5, about 0.5.
Don't forget a comma.
Yeah.
Right after your 0.
Okay. Yep. I'll go back and do that.
There you go. Yep.
Thank you.
So it looks like there's oftentimes going to be multiple ways that you could do something, and sometimes it's just a matter of personal preference, and sometimes it might be one way that's better than another, but it sounds like a lot of times it's really just kind of personal preference.
It is personal preference,
okay.
right.
All right.
But I think that our viewers need to know that there are different ways to see things.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to recognize those differences on the test.
Okay.
And when you're reading code,
yep.
you need to know that there is more than one way to do things. Let's take a look at this, see how it looks. I'm going to run it. See, now
okay,
we see a little bit of that kind of blading in.
Yeah, okay, I like it. All right.
So we've looked at simple ways to round corners, a little bit of graphic effects with CSS, no JavaScript needed.
Right.
Simply with your styling. And then we looked at how to do transparency. And we also, so it's important also to notice that setting the opacity or the transparency can be done on any element or object on your page, not just an image. In this case, we did an image as well as just the header section.
Yep. Yeah. So, cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We need to talk a little bit about these things.
Yes. Yeah, you had highlighted that before, those transformations, transitions, typography.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that our viewers just at least at the basics understand what these things are.
Yep.
So for definition, transformations is simply taking an object that's on our page and it could be a one-dimensional object and transforming that, if you will, or changing it
not just a clever name,
2- or 3-dimensional space.
Okay. All right.
On the other hand, transitions are an animation. It could be as simple as a circle on your page, and you move that across your page. That's considered an animation. So it can be very simple.
Okay.
And actually, not a whole lot of code. I'm going to actually show you some demos on that. You're going to be quite impressed.
Okay. I like it.
Typography, that is the study, or really and truly, it's an art. It's an art of laying out the typeset on your page. Things like choosing your font style, choosing the position on your page of your fonts, choosing the terms such as leading and kerning. So
all of those kind of fancy things that people can get into. So
So let's define that for our users. So the leading is going to be the space between the horizontal space between your characters.
Okay.
And the
kerning.
Yeah. So So I've got that backwards.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
So the kerning is the horizontal space, and the leading is between the lines.
Okay, so leading between the lines, kerning is the horizontal
just
space.
Some typography stuff, just some terms that you should be familiar with and understand basics about what typography is.
Yeah.
And again, that's, there are semester-long courses to learn about design and typography.
Right.
You just want to make sure that you can differentiate between these and know what they do. I think the best way to demonstrate these is to go to Microsoft's test drive. I couldn't do a better demo than what they do. So I want to reference this link for you and take you out there. for the IE test drive, and we can actually look. Let's first look at transformation so you can see a visual of what that actually does.
Give that a second to come up.
Yep.
There we go.
But slowly, about 2 words a minute, but we'll get there.
Give that just a moment to come on up.
If you haven't explored this test drive, by the way, it is a fantastic place. I know that you have been there before. But so we start off with transformations, and this is some great background reading for you that I'm going to recommend for you to learn more about what a transformation is.
So this is in Flash or Silverlight. This is all HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
CSS. All done, yes. So in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to click that. Whoa, that's a transformation. How about that? And then there's some reading that'll tell you a little bit about how that was done. That's a transformation.
Coming at you.
Yeah.
I need my 3D glasses for that one.
Yeah. So this is a great, and there are more. This is just a great place for you to go and explore and see firsthand exactly what that is.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit more about transitions, typography. Again, there's some samples out there on the Internet Explorer test drive.
Okay. Give that a moment to come on up there. Yep.
Maximize that while we're waiting. In fact, there's plenty of other things. Transformations, transitions, typography, that's what we're looking at now. But if you notice, transparency, hey, we've already done that. Border radius, there's some other things that you can go and explore for reinforcement right here on this site.
I dig it.
Transitions, let's go there. Ah, that's that's a transition. It's just, I know, right? Okay, wait, watch this. This is the code right here that does this. Just right here. This simple
that's
CSS.
Simple. Okay.
Yeah.
So from the left top and
just transition.
Yeah, transition over 2 seconds.
What's really nice about this test drive is I can go in and visually interact, and you notice that the code is changing as I make these changes, and then we'll see some changes. We'll see physically, be able to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a great place to explore. Again, you can grab the URL up here, but we're going to provide all of these URLs at the end of each one of these modules for you to go in and explore a little bit. Oh, I did want to take you to typography, so let me jump back there real quick.
Give that a second to reload.
A busy morning out there.
I always love the little hourglass that flips up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little things that
just
make
to
me
keep
happy.
keep you happy. Okay, typography. Here we go. So this is just some great reading that actually shows you some information. A visual representation, but good information in here to explain a little bit about typography. So if you're not familiar with that, and a lot of developers aren't, sometimes you're either on the design side or the developer side.
Right.
But you need for this test to at least have a basic general understanding about what it is.
Okay.
And I couldn't do it better, really, than what Test Drive does. So I recommend that you go out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just go in and start playing around.
Best way to do it again.
All right.
CSS in a nutshell.
All
Christopher,
right.
That's it.
So it looks like with CSS that what we saw there is the fact that we could go in and declaratively indicate how we want to look at things, that we don't have to go in and do everything with HTML. In fact, we really don't, that we want to do that with CSS. We saw how we could go in, put that on the individual elements, how we could split that out to a section on the page, and then eventually there to an end file.
Yep, that's right. That's our main. That's where we're trying to get to, right? Is separate out those
separation
concerns.
of concerns.
Right.
Awesome.
But
so yeah.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we mention that to understand about inheritance and cascading principles.
Yep, cascading style sheets. Again, that the closer that you get to an element, that's what's going to win.
Right.
Okay.
And you know how to do a few graphical effects with CSS, like rounding corners, setting transparency. Nothing earth-shattering, but lots of fun stuff now that you can do right in CSS.
Yep. Fantastic. So what do you say we take another break, and then we'll come on back and we'll take a look at how we could incorporate a little bit more dynamic ability. He said to maybe make up a word, how we could actually kick things up a little bit with JavaScript and some code. So we'll take a break, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks.
Hey there, welcome back. Preparing for exam 98375 HTML5 Application Development Fundamentals. I'm Christopher Harrison. Very pleased to be joined today by Rachel Jones. And we've been kind of rolling through some HTML, a little bit of CSS, and now it's time to kind of complete the triumvirate here and take a look at how we can write some code utilizing some JavaScript. Yep. So take a look at how we can enhance that last little bit of functionality that we're going to be looking for.
Yeah, so we'll start off from the very basics if you are brand new to JavaScript.